Welcome to Peak, Train Like a Girl, a podcast 5 girls in sport, 4 girls and coaches in sport. We're here to amplify your voice. It deserves to be heard. At Peak, we are a safe place for girls to hang out, learn, grow, and build community. We empower girls in sport and coaches with knowledge, resources, and support we think is necessary in today's athletic environments to thrive. Join us for bold conversations about the experiences of girls in sport. Our discussions will make you laugh, cry, cheer, get frustrated, and hopefully rethink the future of girls in sport for generations to come. So whether you're walking, commuting, on your lunch hour, cleaning your bedroom, or moving back into your dorm, take us with you. Follow us. It helps more than you can imagine. Check out our website and make sure you share with a female athlete or coach you love. Now, I'm really excited to get this year started with our first podcast guest. This is actually the first time we've done this. We have a duo, a team. I'm gonna mess it up. So Rianna and Shania. I'm gonna get it right by the end. So Shania and Rianna are 2 incredible athletes in the state of Illinois. They run cross country and track. I know them just a little bit because we compete in similar conferences and I've seen them at some races. I've also had the pleasure of sitting back and watching them a little on this crazy platform called social media. There's a few things that I found super intriguing about them right away. First of all, I definitely want to talk about their sisterhood. I don't know if people know this, but I also have twin girls who were high school athletes and then both competed in college in athletics. So I want to talk to them a little bit about that. I also want to talk to them about their high school environment, which is a more competitive running environment, and how they're navigating that, including things like recovering, their enrichment, what they do outside of sport, what they do to prioritize sleep, and how they navigate being online with everything else they're doing. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and get warmed up. Are you guys ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You can both answer the questions. So we'll pause long enough to let you both answer the questions. Rianna, you'll start and then your sister can follow. Cat or dog?
Okay, for this one, yes, I'm Rianna Tandon, and my favorite would definitely be a dog. Okay, and then I'm Shania Tandon, and mine would definitely be a dog as well.
All right. Rianna, vanilla or chocolate?
Chocolate.
Your sister?
Yes, chocolate for me too.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Beach or mountains?
Oh, that's good. I'd say beach.
Yeah. All right.
I think definitely I cannot choose between those two because I do so much of my training and have so much fun in the mountains, but then I love relaxing on the beach.
All right. So it's a tie. I like it. Okay. Winter or summer?
Summer for sure. That's another tough one. I'm a little bit indecisive on questions like that because I just love to enjoy all of the different seasons and find the best in all of them.
I love it. I love that. That's why we're doing this. I wanted to see the difference. All right. Road trip or plane?
Plane. Any day. I don't have enough patience, I think, for road trip.
That's awesome.
And that goes for the same for me. I get so nauseous fast. So just definitely quick 4 or 5 hour plane trip is so much better for me than a few long hour car rides.
I love that. All right. Now I'm curious about this as a coach. Track workout or long run?
Track workout for me. I feel like definitely I have really perfected long runs, I feel like, and really found love for them, but I always love like repping out some 400s, 800 repeats. So always lots of fun. And yeah, that's good for me. What about you? Yeah, definitely long run for me, Shania. And that's just because I think I just love running for a long time and I love trying to challenge myself, especially in like those 8 or 10 or 11 mile. I want to get to those points in my long runs, just making sure that I'm in control and just getting out there, and I love it.
I love that. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about your story. And I want to start. So Shiana, let's start with you. I want to talk about, I love that we just did that because first of all, are you identical or fraternal twins?
We're fraternal twins.
Fraternal twins. Okay. So I don't know if people know the difference there. So that's what my girls are also. They are fraternal twins. And it's interesting because you obviously have many, many differences about you. You don't necessarily like the same things, or you don't necessarily find joy in the same things. So I love the fact that you've got some individuality there. Why don't you talk to me about, have you always been in the same sport? Let's start there. Have you always gravitated towards running or the same sport?
Yeah, so to begin our journeys in sports, I guess we've been playing sports since we were really young. We both started off by playing soccer and got super competitive there until Rihanna was 10 years old, I believe, and then I stopped playing soccer when I was 12. And we both played club soccer, and we found so much love and enjoyment from building teams and building our leadership skills, and then also, of course, playing the sports, soccer, and then we also got together. We definitely took that more seriously, and that's where I started. I, of course, stopped playing soccer, and then Rihanna was, of course, still playing basketball at the time. And then she found that I had found such a passion for running and such a love for succeeding in that arena, I suppose. And then she joined me there too. So we've definitely been similar, but then we've also taken our own paths in those directions.
I love that. So Rihanna, when you migrated, it's so funny because obviously the soccer to cross country pipeline is definitely real. So when you made your way over to the cross country track world, did you feel any sense of competition with your sister, or was it something that you figured out together?
Yeah, so I definitely feel like the transition was honestly pretty similar for us. Sixth grade, I believe Shania did track when I still focused on basketball, and then a little bit of like cheer and gymnastic stuff. So that was more fun for me. But then obviously getting older and moving into high school and later middle school, my parents were like, you need to figure out what your focus sport's going to be, what you want to be serious about. So yeah, Shania had just one extra track season than me. And yeah, that was sixth grade. But then in the fall of seventh grade, and then we were both on the same track. We both started cross country at the same time. So that was pretty similar.
Got it. So Shiana, when we talk about cross country, it can be, people think it's an individual sport. It's like Megan who swims. People feel like it's an individual sport. And yet we're all aware that it's also a team sport. But do you feel some competition within your teammates and competition with yourself? I mean, that's a real thing. We talk a lot about that, about how do you stay focused on advancing yourself and keep that within yourself and not realizing that your competition isn't with your teammate. So do you think that that is harder having your sister run with you, or does it just feel like it's another teammate?
So I think that the bond that me and Rihanna have developed with coming together has been so we definitely grown as individuals because we have the opportunity to succeed, but also grow through challenges together. And I think that being on such a successful team and being surrounded by so many individuals that are committed and driven to improving their program, I think that it's made me and Rihanna so much closer. And I feel like though it's important to be competitive and really want to achieve your own goals and set your own expectations for yourself, I think that it's given me such an opportunity to take a step back and say, hey, we're in this together, not only with Rihanna, but with all of my teammates, and think that we put in the work every single day, seeing each other's at our best, but also at our worst. So just continuing to grow in that aspect and making sure that all of us are always there to support each other and love each other and care about each other, even if we do succeed or fail.
Yeah, I think that's really good. My twins actually they were involved in different sports. One swam and the other played lacrosse. So they had very different skill sets as far as athletes go. But I feel like they would have been a lot like the two of you. They didn't feel a lot of competition with each other. And actually they got mostly support from each other in order to push them to not only excel, but also to understand their limitations. They were able to challenge each other and call each other out, which I really appreciated. Let's talk about culture here for a minute, and let's talk about your high school program. I know your high school program well. It's obviously a well-established program with a well-established coach, with a long history of success. And sometimes people measure success by wins and losses, or times in this case. And that's a super easy thing to do. But it sounds to me like when you're talking that the success of the program is a lot deeper than wins or losses.
Yeah, so Mr. Iverson, our coach, we got to Naperville North High School. And yeah, ever since we moved here and we began our conversations with him in the program, we knew that it was going to really have a special place in our heart for a long time. He just has unwavering commitment for our team and for the individuals. As an individual and as an athlete, not as a team in general, he's very, very specific on you as an individual and making sure he gives attention to his specific athletes and make sure every single person feels like they are committed. They feel like they are competing. They feel like they are improving because of him. And he's always the quickest to pick us up if we have a hard race, but then also tell us that what we can control in the time being might not have ended in the best way that we want to, but at the end of the day, you improved the best, and if you did, and you know the result was no matter the time or place, like we have improved as a team and as an individual. And I'm very, very grateful for him as our coach and as we have made our transition from freshmen to juniors.
Yeah, I really like that. And do you feel, just again from a program perspective, that the fastest kids on the team get that, and then the kids who may not be the fastest, do you feel that goes across the board? It's because you guys have a large program. It's not like there's just 15 girls that are running, right?
Yeah. So I believe that this year we have 75 girls in our program, which sounds like a huge number, and it's so beautiful to think that we are all on the same team and we're all striving for the same thing. So what Coach Iverson's philosophy is that no matter if you're the 75th runner on our team, if you're the 28th runner on the team, or even our first runner on the team, every single person helps the team get better, and every single person, if you're the 23rd person on the team, you're helping the 22nd, and it moves all the way down the line to the second person helping the first person on our team. And I think that that's why our team has had such a great legacy, and how Naperville North has just been inspiring throughout high school running. And I think that it has definitely taught us the importance of not only focusing on yourself, but focusing on your environment around you, and really understanding that your environment is usually one of the greatest causes to your success.
Yeah.
A last thought, I feel like he definitely makes it clear that if you are not ready, or I don't know, in a headspace to run for yourself, you want to run into your team no matter what. And just knowing that there's such a bond and culture that you can do the starting line, even if you're not racing that day, or if you're one of few racing that day for your entire team to go to the start line if you've done, that you're not running for yourself, you're not running for a time, you're running to be as many people as you can for our team.
Yeah, I love that. You can feel that. We have 67 athletes on our team, and that is something that we really pride ourselves in, is that every kid is seen, and that's something we really talk about. And definitely everybody plays a role, because everyone brings different unique gifts to the table. So I'm really glad that you reiterated that. And I think that that's really important for all athletes and coaches who are listening today, to understand that you can have success, and you can also have a positive culture that people can thrive in. And while we're talking about that, one of the things we talk a lot about at Peak, which is performance education for athletes and coaches, is the acronym REST, which is Recover, Enrich, Sleep, and Technology. What I want to talk a little bit about is that word enrich. So what do you do outside of school, so academics and athletics, to kind of find personal growth and to find joy? What are some of the things you guys do there?
Yeah, so I think that one of the greatest concepts that we really, really like to focus on is balance. And I think
Mm,
that with being a student athlete, the word student always comes before the word athlete. And sometimes that's a little bit, it can be frustrating or it can be like, oh, I just really want to focus on a race coming up. But I think that it's always important to understand that you're more than just an athlete and you're human and you have to not only take care of yourself physically, but also mentally. So that comes with recovery, with schoolwork, with relationships and being kind to others.
hmm
But I also think that growing extracurricularly is a really important focus that we like to focus on as well. And I guess that can lead me into the different things that I do outside of running. And I am super interested in business. And we have, me and Rihanna, both of us have really decided like we want to go on the business route. And like in high school as well as in college. And I think that growing extracurricularly has definitely changed our mindsets, allowed us to focus on running, but also become stronger in different areas of our life as well.
I love that. What about you, Rihanna?
Yeah, so going off of that, we are pretty similar when it comes to majors when talks. It is about proving a lot of coaches are like, what do you want to do? Like, do you guys want to be together? And we're like, yes, but in essence, different areas. But really, business has taken off for us in the last few years. So yeah, would be like that. But then also extracurriculars that are just kind of smaller. I would like to enforce that even if you're an athlete and a student and have a lot of bigger things going on to give time to relax and spend time with friends. And we are doing small things such as for me and you can also just not take off the stressors that irritate you throughout school or for running or anything like that. I'm just taking a or thinking about businesses. Potatoes have been a really great platform for us to because it's very fun for us to make reels or make content and it's really good with that. It's reinforcing and motivating others, but then also it really helps to inspire others because it helps yourself to that to empower others as
well. Mm-hmm. And would you like to hear about some of our other extracurriculars that we do outside of school?
I would absolutely love that.
To begin, a few years ago, we started attending Naperville Rising Women in Business, which one of our alumni created here at North. And yeah, it's not a school club, but it is a business club for empowerment and women leadership. So it's for middle schoolers, but also high schoolers. And yeah, it's where we learn a lot of leadership skills when it comes to the business world, but also lifestyle in general. So recently, Shania and I have been elected for that executive board. So for me, I'm the vice president of communications and Shania is the vice president of engagement. So there we really get to experience in real life our inspiring events and experiences that have happened and teach others in that sense too, to help bring them up, but also as leaders as they begin high school, which has been really amazing and been taking up a lot of our time recently. But along with this, we do DECA for business as well. And Shania was elected to the board this year as well in the fall, which has been really great. So yeah, really starting to get leadership positions on different clubs and activities that we do as we are juniors now, and using the skills we have found as freshmen and sophomores and reinforcing them to the individuals that join now have been a really big part of our lives, as well as obviously cross country wise, we were also elected captains for next season, which is really exciting as well. So we're really excited for that.
Amazing. That is really incredible. And I love that you talk about gaining experience and gaining enrichment outside of sports and academics. But now you're even talking about going outside of your school, still in your community with other alumni from the school. I think it just broadens the conversation. I think it not only enriches you, but it enriches everybody around you because it opens your perspective. So you get to see different people and how they operate and how things work. And I think that that can be really important, particularly in a high school setting where we can get a little, skewed because it is such a bubble. Do you guys feel like that these outside interests have allowed you to grow just a little outside of that?
Yeah, so I feel like the amount of experiences that you can find outside of your school and in your actual community as a whole has made me both so much more experienced in the sense that life outside of school is so different, but also so like you learn so much, and it's so eye-opening to be in the professional world and actually solving issues, but also just learning and taking time to just experience as much as you can through the lens of other people as well. And then I'll let Shania say a little bit about that as well.
Yeah.
Shania.
Perfect.
Can you repeat that, or what were you asking?
Yeah, so Shania, I was just wondering if you think that having some outside interest, even outside of the high school, allows you to have a broader perspective to bring back to not only your home and to yourself, but to your teammates.
Sure. So I would like to tell you that I was just accepted into a pageant called Miss Teen Illinois USA, which is a super exciting one because I get to represent the city of Naperville in the pageant. And my passion projects, or my mission in this, is to really allow females to understand that anything is possible when you put your mind to balancing your life. And I think that that goes back to your question and more about into talking about how meeting other individuals and influencing the individuals around you and in your environment just impacts yourself and the others around you so much. And you can have such an influence on people around you in such a positive way. And if you focus on yourself just a little bit and grow in respect to yourself, you can grow in respect to everybody else as well.
I absolutely agree. Shania, let's keep you on because I know you guys are incredible. You're here on your lunch hour, and I know, because I know fueling is a priority for you, you are still going to take the time to go fuel yourselves before you go back to school. I want to talk a little bit about the recruiting process, which I know that you are entering into. Again, we're talking to an audience of people who also perhaps want to compete at the collegiate level. Can you each just give me a few sentences about what that process is looking like for each of you?
Sure. So this is still Shania, and for the recruiting process at the moment, with the new NCAA rule changes, it definitely looks much different than what we were expecting. But I think that it's so important to not get too distracted and too excited about how coaches have been reaching out and what schools you might want to go to, because while that's very important, I think that that shouldn't be a distraction, and you shouldn't ever feel like, oh, I've already done so good up to now, I don't have to continue to improve, which is definitely a trap that some athletes can get into and that I've heard of. But I think that both Rianna and I have done an excellent job of continuing to stay focused athletically and academically, and just using coaches and colleges as more of a motivator, and thinking that, hey, if I can get into this school with my times right now, why don't I strive for more? Why don't I try striving for that extra leap or that more motivation and training so I can try and get into some more schools and try to be as impressive and as much of a contributor as possible my freshman year of college.
I love that. Rianna, what about you?
Let me give her the nice.
Okay. Yeah, this is working much better, by the way. Thanks for
college process in just 6. Yeah, so I think Shania and I are definitely on similar stages in that case, and we're trying to try to run together in college, which is really exciting. And I feel like we forget to mention that because it's kind of expected when we are talking to coaches, but a lot of times they're like, oh, do you guys want to run together in college? We're like, yes, of course we do. Like, so much fun for us because we train together every single day in high school, obviously. So I feel like it just makes sense, and we've gotten so close from running. So running together would be so much fun, and going into the business fields potentially as well. Yeah, but going back to running together, I feel like it's been a little bit of a journey for sure. Last fall, I don't know if you are familiar, if she already talks about this, but Shania was in an accident. So yeah, she was on a run and she got hit by a car. So that was very difficult for me, especially because I've just been so used to always having someone to run with and running alone and having figured that out on the mental perspective side. When my sister was out, I couldn't obviously run with anyone. It was very difficult because it was so unexpected in the sense that I didn't know what to do, because Shania's always been a bit of a more of a leader for sure in the cross country side, and having her not there to push me was difficult, and having to take that role in the front seat besides the passenger seat a little bit was difficult as well. So getting to that has been great though, because she is back, which is amazing, and I loved watching her improve every race. And yeah, it was very, very inspiring, and I'm really glad I got to race with her for the last few races of the season, and going into track as well is going to be so much fun too.
Absolutely. So Shania, I'm so sorry. I did not know that happened. I have also been hit by a car, which was, it was a really tough thing to come back from. And it was, again, unexpected, unclear. It wasn't, and the thing that was hard for me is it wasn't something I did. It was something that happened to me. But I wonder, and actually, is Rianna, is Shania back on?
I am on the mic now. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. So, I'm wondering, just as we're kind of winding down, talking about that piece, did you ever feel like, oh my gosh, why did this happen to me? I mean, what was your mindset around that? Or were you able to keep a relatively good mindset on that as you navigated through the injury and the recovery?
Sure. So to begin with, there was definitely moments of me being so demoralized and frustrated about the whole situation, because I was coming off of such a terrific summer of training, and I was so ready and excited. My accident happened on July 29th of 2024 as well. So it was right around that season where I was coming back with my teammates. I was ready to go. But I do have to give so much credit to, of course, Rianna, but then also my parents, my teammates, and then also my coaches, especially Coach Iverson, because I think that they allowed me to re-believe in myself and allowed me to understand that even though something as difficult as this happened, I have to remind myself that I'm still me, and I have to be grateful for every opportunity that I have. And that was, although this was one of the greatest setbacks I've ever had to face, especially in the athletic world, it was one of the best ways that I could have ever imagined reshifting my mindset, because I just learned how to be so much more grateful and really appreciate every opportunity I have now. And that definitely, there was definitely moments where I was frustrated, but by watching my teammates succeed and by allowing myself to kind of watch from the sidelines, I think I grew as a leader, and also mentally I grew so much as a person, because now every time I step on the line to race, every time I step on the track to train, or even on the treadmill, I know it's been some cold days now and I'm on the treadmill much more, I just remind myself of how frustrated and how sad I was not to be able to run, and just getting up and running and being back on my feet, no matter if I as fast as I were and whatnot. I continue to remind myself, like, I have to be so grateful to just be running right now. And I definitely am. And that switch in mindset has definitely helped me become a better athlete, but also a better person as well.
Amazing. Amazing. So go ahead and stay on, because we're going to get cooled down here. And I want to invite you back. We didn't even really get into some of the recruiting stuff that I think would be so valuable for our listeners, but I know you guys are under a time crunch. So really quickly, what is a simple way that you calm your mind and your body?
Sure. So this is Shania, and I think that one of the best things that I can do, I'm an introvert, so I get socially drained really quick sometimes. So in the evening, I like to breathe and do yoga. and that's usually after my run. So just taking time to stretch and to do yoga. I like to do it with my mom sometimes and just sit in our house, get our yoga mats out and just stretch out. And that also goes along with like recovery and maybe sitting in the ice bath, not really talking to anybody, just breathing, relaxing and focusing on myself a little bit and just giving myself that time to rest is super important to me.
No, Shania, I love that. Put your sister on. I want to hear her answer.
Sure. Yes. So I just say I'm the complete opposite. I relax by talking forever. Like even when I was little, my parents were like, "Yep, she's never not talking." Like I will go up to random people and just start talking to them forever. I don't know, it's fun.
That's awesome.
I feel like I'm a pretty entertaining person, and I have definitely a lot of stories to share all the time. And I'm grateful for my friends because they like to listen to me all the time. But yeah, relaxing when I'm not talking, I feel like I'm either cooking something or I'm spending time with my dog.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty. Or like listening to music, I like to. But yeah, other than that, I'm always moving. I'm not sitting still. I feel like
That is amazing. And it's so funny. If you were going to ask my twins, they would have had very similar response. One gains energy and relaxation from being with people, the other from being alone. So that is hilarious. I can't tell you how much I appreciate each of you taking the time out of your very, very full schedules to be here and add value to everybody who is listening to this podcast. Don't forget to follow us, share our episodes, join us on Instagram, Peak Train Like a Girl, and take a minute to explore our website. We'll drop